Okay, got everything going. Let's change some screens around here. Hello, Catherine. And I think it's just you and me so far. Oh, I do definitely need to get rid of some audio in the background. Hold on a second. We don't need that. Okay, that's been fixed. Have chat open in multiple places. Let me get rid of that background. All right, we'll go about half, just so that that's in the background. All right, so we'll wait for a couple viewers to jump on. I sent the invite out to several. And I just realized that the screen needs to be flipped. That's going to drive me crazy. But each night I learn a little bit more about the streaming process, including how to give somebody the wrench. Chris, again, I was in YouTube, but in the wrong spot. We actually just opened it up as a viewing event. We did a short 4 or 5 minute stream last night. Thanks. And then we got that over there. So now it's only one viewer. One's Catherine and one was me. I don't know where I went. So I think it lies. So we'll let a couple more join. See if anybody messaged me. No. So today I actually, just so you know what I'll be talking about tonight, Catherine, I actually, as you can see from the screen, I did a follow-up service call on the client that actually opened, or I'm sorry, called the phone number that, and this is a copy of the screenshot that she sent me. So I just wanted to let everyone know what the outcome was. All right, we have, this is starting to become the Pysick family channel. Catherine, you know Kimberly, you know Cap Productions, and Madison would be my daughter, and maybe she'll come down and say hello. Maybe, probably not. One camera tonight. I'm sitting here. The floor and the chair were all cleaned off last night. However, the table's still covered with RAM, IO shields, and some DVD drives. So the wife's laughing upstairs, but yes, everything is where it was last night before we started. So, and my daughter's boyfriend is on. We were all calling him, I forget what we were calling him, but we were trying to get him online during one of our live chats, and he was sleeping. And it just so worked that we were calling him Sleepy Joe. Sort of fit. But tonight, he went out of his way to pick. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that I know that will take every chance to pick on me on here. But he said something about, you wish. And I said, yeah. A couple of the videos got a couple hundred views. And he said, yeah, after 3 years. So if he ever does marry my daughter, him and I are going to have issues. Okay, we got 4, but I think that's. I want to give it a couple more minutes before, and I want to keep this short, maybe 20 minutes tonight. Tired. I want to do some kind of media or content every night, but it does require a little bit of extra work that I'm not used to yet. I'm getting better at adding media, videos for live stream, and so this content or these live streams aren't useless. It allows me to actually learn the software, and as you know from last night, we are learning it. Catherine, just let me know. Well, today I can actually see the chat, but I actually want to watch the people get blocked if anybody does jump on. I did text Chris. but who knows what he's doing. I was hoping that he would jump on. So, follow up. I guess I'll start talking about it now because I could probably talk about it for about 10 minutes. Um, so, when I spoke to this client last week, or at the beginning of the week, tomorrow's Friday already, I got a call, and the text was, or should say a text, not a call, or I think I had a missed call and a text. And the picture here in the background was the text that I was sent. And underneath was, help, what do I do? Now, I didn't get this right away. We were in the grocery store, and I believe it took me about 20 minutes to get it. But I figured, since they reached out to me, that they were going to wait to hear from me. And I got home, and the first thing I did was reach out. And at that point, my client was on the phone with the person from the Microsoft support. I don't know how many that are going to watch this video have actually had to ever call Microsoft support, but they don't go out of their way to offer help. There's usually a long delay and all that. So the first thing that I had told this client was that maybe the fact that somebody answered right away and offered to jump onto your computer should have been a sign. But the first thing, when I reached out, I could hear that they were on the phone with someone. And I could hear the conversation, and they proceeded to tell me that there was a gentleman logged in from Microsoft, and I'm good, they're fixing my problem. And I said, no, hang up. I said, that's not Microsoft. I said, Microsoft never goes out of the way to offer help. So I said, hang up. And then as soon as they hung up, the phone rang again. And I told them, when you answer it, just let them know that you're actually on the phone with your IT support person. And if they're really Microsoft, they'll offer to help. As soon as they answered and stated that they were on the phone with me, the gentleman on the phone hung up. So at that point, the person was about ready to pay $199.99 to Microsoft to fix a problem that, if they had a real problem, Windows Defender should have actually picked it up. Or on that client's laptop, I also run, I'm drawing a blank now. I was all ready to go. All right, I'll continue the story. I'll go back to it. But there's Malwarebytes. And I have them set up to run. And I was literally, and we'll go back, I was actually there a month ago. And I hadn't been there for almost, they never helped. I had, like I said, I went back to do a service call because I hadn't been there in a year. I don't do residential calls unless it's associated with a commercial client. But I had done work for this person in the past, and I have a business relationship with a family member. So I had went out, and the last time I was to work on that machine was about 2 years ago. And I actually did an upgrade to an ADATA 256 gig solid state drive, did a fresh install of Windows 10, and I said, listen, I don't really have the time to sit in a home for 3-4 hours to fix problems. I said, so I'm going to upgrade your machine, reinstall Windows, and get all your stuff working. You just pay for the hardware. And it worked. And I hadn't been there in a while, and I forget why I was there. I think, oh, I remember. So for the longest time, I no longer use it, but the machine, the laptop had AVG, and it was AVG free. And at some point, it got converted to a subscription service, and they wanted to stop paying whatever they were paying a month. So I went out, I cleaned it up for not being there for almost 2 years. The so I cleaned up the a few pieces of malware, all low. I believe it was less than 10. The machine hadn't had any updates in the last 6 months. So being a dual core laptop took a little while to actually run those updates. And I uninstalled a couple things that got installed with something else, and gave it a clean bill of health. So fast forward to the phone call. They had hung up, and I said to them, there's nothing I can do right now. I said, I can't do anything until probably Tuesday or Wednesday, but I can't even schedule you until Tuesday. So we hung up. I did my original video of this, and I had mentioned that I would call. And we were dealing with a dog emergency at the house, multiple visits to the animal hospital. So I didn't get back to them right away. So fast forward to today. I go out. The machine's been unplugged and turned off. So when I got there, it was all wrapped up for me to take it. And I really didn't want to take it because, well, sometimes just sitting down and talking to somebody you know and sort of breaking away from the normal commercial jobs that you have when there's nobody there and you're in the closet and you start naming rack mount equipment like Wilson from Castaway, the ball. So it is sometimes nice to talk to people. So that I do miss about residential jobs. So they were doing something in the kitchen. I set the laptop up and I powered it up. And the first thing I noticed that it came up properly, and the window that you're looking at behind me that says "Do not turn off your computer, it's locked" and all that was exactly what I thought it was. And just that, a pop-up. And as soon as you power cycle it. Now, couldn't get to anything because that took the forefront and did and overrode everything you did. If I was there, I might have been able to kill enough processes kill enough processes to actually get ahead of and close it. But I just had them powered off. Powered it up today. It was fine. The first thing I did was I noticed that TeamViewer was on it. So I stopped TeamViewer and I had uninstalled it. That was good. Didn't see anything that was acting funny. It has an older version of Office Starter, and that didn't open, and a couple other things were not quite right. But this is like the norm for this client, and not by fault. It's just they're not as familiar with computers as I am, or a lot of my other clients are. But I've cleaned up the few things I needed to, and I got it to where it was, and it was in the middle of trying to do an update. And I really wanted to do a scan, but it was at an update, and then it was at the same time. Hi, Carol. It was good information, I needed to restart, but it was also in the middle of updates, and I wanted to do the reboot. So I was letting the last update, which was an update for Windows, 10 H2 for, the second quarter, 21 H2. And I was letting it go and it wasn't finished and it was stuck at 74. I said, all right, you know what? We're just going to reboot it. And I rebooted it, and that's actually what it wanted. Had hadn't done any updates since the last time I was there. So I did mention that the machine should be left on once in a while to do updates when it's actual idle. So I ran through. I rebooted about 4 times to finish all of the updates, updated all the security stuff, and I was pretty much confident that the machine was working fine. I fixed the Office starter package and got it back to where it was when I was there a month ago. And I said, all right, now I'm going to update Malwarebytes and do a scan. So the scan actually went relatively fast. And it came back with 61 or 62 items. And when I actually opened up the details on those items, they were pretty much the same 3 or 4 viruses. They weren't a high priority, but they weren't a low. They were sort of moderate. They were all nested inside of files, folders, and in the registry. So I let it finish, and I was checking it periodically as it was going, and it completed. I quarantined everything. The machine rebooted, came back up happy. And then I actually did a virus scan, and it went all the way through with clean bill of health. Nothing found, and no actions required. So, and that is where I left, and I reiterated to this client that just like your phone that rings with calls that your warranty's expired, that it's the IRS. IRS sends you a letter. They're not calling you. Can't get them to call you back when you need them. Just like Microsoft or anybody else. But I reiterate it. Don't ever trust the screen when it wants you to call somebody. If you're not sure what to do, just turn it off. If you want to be daring, you can turn it back on. But in this case, when they called, they were talked through setting up I just uninstalled it. I really need to start writing this stuff down. But they were and install the connection. It could be anything. Go to my PC, but they did get them in far enough, and the person just started popping up config files to say, "Oh, look, you have security alerts." I'm sure they were in Windows Event Viewer, and they were bringing up log files. And I don't know any computer that doesn't have something that's blocked. Windows Firewall does a pretty good job at blocking stuff as needed. But I reiterate it, and this is what I want to tell everybody. Just turn it off. If you can't get ahead of it and stop it, turn it off. Reboot the machine. The only problem to sometimes doing that is when it comes back up, your browser may want to reload the last page that it had, and then it takes you right back where you were. But after you do that, the second time around, you can actually stop it. I haven't run into a situation where I haven't been able to get past it. But I do see this scenario, this screen, this scenario play out several times a year. And most of the time, by the time I got a call, first thing I did was unplugged it, and I pulled the Ethernet cord out of it. Well, that's good unless you're connected via Wi-Fi. But I usually sit on the phone for a couple minutes while they power it back on and everything's gone, and then I instruct them to do a full malware and virus scan and let me know, take a picture and send me the output. And normally I get a picture that, everything was clean, thumbs up, and we leave it alone at that. So that was the scenario with this, but since she was uneasy and I wasn't sure how far, they could have actually killed log files, they could have put unwanted software on it. This TeamViewer they could have been downloading viruses to it for all we know. And once they got their money, they would have said, "Yeah, you're all set. See you later." Meanwhile, that screen is still sitting on the middle of their laptop. So again, catastrophe was avoided. The computer was easily put back to standard config and cleaned up. They fixed a couple other things I didn't notice during the service call about a month ago. But that was it. So back to the screen, guys. Everyone, guys, girls. If you have that screen, just recycle or power cycle your machine. So Catherine, there is, I guess, one of those. Hey, she got it. I guess that you got that, correct? Thank you, Catherine, for keeping an eye out for that. I wasn't sure how that was going to work. We got 9 viewers. I think we've got more tonight at one time than we had yesterday. So, like I said, I wanted to keep this around 20 minutes or so. So, is there anybody that might have a question about what happened, or any question? Has this ever happened to anybody? I'm expecting somebody to answer me, and I know that that's not going to happen. Tomorrow, I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I want to do a couple more live streams to get used to the equipment. Saturday, I want to try to do one in the afternoon, and I'm looking over to the left because I may actually try to take one of the machines that I want to reimage as an example, because I did do that install the other day and how fast it went. I'm hoping maybe I can take one of those machines, because when I take them in for recycle, I also put what was wrong with them, so that if I want to use spare parts out of them, or RAM, or that would ideally be something I can do. I can do a troubleshooting. Again, if anybody wants to see anything else, let me know. I'm new to this, and I'm much less nervous than I was originally. We're at 9. Oh, I don't want to hang up. Or not hang up, jeez. Not on the phone. See what happens to us? I can't stand this. I don't like to carry it around. I don't like when it rings. I can't wait till Friday when I can ignore it. So, sorry, I just keep staring off to the right to read, and I get distracted easy. I have lots of stuff to do, and again, I'm so far behind with work. But the content will start to gear toward actually doing stuff that's not just busy work. But this is, I think, the first time I did a video that I actually posted a follow-up when I said, stay tuned for part 2. And this one I didn't say stay tuned for part 2, so I'm very proud of myself for that. So I think, I'm trying to think. I also want to do a video where I actually show the equipment, like my microphone. That's the Wave 3 by Elgato, and I did this before. I have 2 of these, and I don't know where they're at, but try not to move too much stuff. This is the, oops, it's upside down, Camlink by Elgato. And I have that configured. Oh, here's. The other day I thought one of these failed, so I have 2 of them. And this is, I believe this does 4K. And this allows me to go right into my camera. All right, we're going to get rid of the virus screen in the back. Or not the virus, but the pop-up. Just go back to this. So tomorrow, or Saturday morning, I'm going to try really hard to get a haircut. So it actually doesn't look like it's, all out of proportion. My daughter today proceeded to tell me that I needed a haircut. But again, this is USB 3 to HDMI input. And this has worked pretty good. I had originally thought when I had problems with the recording that we did at the church that it was actually the capture cards, and it wound up being cables. And again, you'll watch a lot of other YouTubers, the two cables that actually come with this, that are just USB 3.2 extension cables, these are solid. You know, a lot of vendors actually put decent equipment in with it. But I thought I had a problem with that. I want to go over the camera. The Canon camera comes with this battery. Then I ordered that battery. When I got it, it wouldn't charge, and here the charger was bad. So Amazon sent it back. And these are actually real Canon batteries. But Amazon said, oh, we'll just send you another one, keep that. It's $100 and some battery. So now I have two of these, the smaller one. I get about 3 hours out of that, an hour and a half to 2 hours out of that. And, oh, no wife haircuts. Hush, none of that, Catherine. Because I get on her nerves a lot, and I'm sure she'll get even with me. The other thing I have, you know what, I'll actually show you some of the equipment I have. The Elgato Wave XLR. That allows you to control the external microphones. I have several of those. This Radio Shack microphone, I purchased it about 2 years before I met my wife. And I wasn't quite sure when I bought it. And I thought I've never taken it out of the box. And I technically haven't. However, the other day when I opened it up, it had a battery in it. Now it has a battery in it now. But the battery that was in it, I think back then, Duracell had the two buttons that you could push on the double A, and it would tell you how charged it was. And yeah, I'm afraid. Somebody having cutters around this hair, she'll like put her name in my head. Kim is an easy name to fit on this big head. I don't even know if she's watching anymore. But I took the battery out, and it actually showed me when I purchased it, when I put it. And as we know, Radio Shack is now defunct. I think they have an online store. And there are a handful of actual Radio Shack stores that were continued by the actual owners. If you Google that, they are out there. So anyway, this comes with a cable. Now the cable has never been taken out of the box. And the cable goes from the 3-pin into a phone jack. And I want to control this through the Elgato XLR and put a new battery. That's a Amazon Basics, but that goes into that. I actually purchased some nice cables that'll allow me to hook that up. I don't have a stand, so I haven't used it. The Elgato Wave 3 microphone. I've been using this now for probably, he may not have any hair left. Nice, Kim. Nice. She is listening. 8 viewers. I've been bouncing back and forth. But so this will allow me, I got a 50-foot cable. I do have, I don't know if you saw them on one of the other videos, wireless lapel microphones. Tucked nicely away right now. 2 receivers, one transmitter. The one that I did with Chris, we used this. And then I have the other capture card somewhere. Oh. So this is the HD60 S Plus. How's that? It's a little better. This has HDMI in with audio in, USB out, and then HDMI out. So that allows me to hook it up to hook up computers, gaming. They use this for gaming consoles, but I use it for the computers so I can stream what I'm actually working on. I do have to find a solution to the USB card that I installed that's not working properly. And this 7-port, right, 7 USB 3.2 by TP-Link works, but if you bump the table and that port goes offline, all 7 devices go offline, and your stream is finished for that session. You have to close it, append it. I haven't been able to append it easily, so it was start over. And we had that happen at church. And I'm trying to think. Oh, the other thing that we haven't even... No, I'm sorry. We've taken it out of the box. And I don't know if it's any good. I forget how I acquired it. It's on the floor here, so let me just pull it up as everything falls. We're down to 6 viewers, so I think everybody's sort of getting bored. So I'll finish with this microphone. Hang it on the wall. The microphone? I'll just open this up real quick. Catherine, I'm sorry, I wasn't following where we're at, so hanging on the wall just sort of caught me off guard. But sure, I can pretty much mount anything on the wall, right? This is a nicer XLR XLR microphone. And this has a nice base and a table clamp to allow me to clamp it to the table. So I want to start, Chris wants to actually do a podcast with his friend. They're all about doing sports and school sports, and I don't actually know what direction he's going into yet. But he never joined, so I'm not sure that we'll be able to ask him. But he wants to use these. And I think maybe for Saturday, I want to play with one of the other options that he wants to use. And that's the green screen. I do have a green screen. And I want to see what's involved. I don't know, maybe I'll put me in Bermuda. We can do, we can celebrate my 250 subscribers. When I get there, I'm at 249. I haven't quite understood and figured out how. I keep getting people telling me I subscribed, and when I actually go and click or check, not that you can see who subscribes all the time because some of them are blocked. But long story short, I think when they go to the page, they see subscribe, and they think they're subscribed based on a couple of conversations with several people. So have to find out a way to get subscribers to actually click. But I'm one away from 250, which means I'm 1/4 of the way toward 1,000, which isn't bad. I've gotten, if I get one more, I'll have 25 or 20. It was 221 2 weeks ago, and now I'm almost at I'm one short of 250, 21. So that'll be what, 29 subscribers if I do the math right. So that's good for 2 weeks. So I just keep pumping out this learning garbage. No, it is informative, a little informative. And I'm learning, and I want to do some more. I want to get more people involved and see what everybody wants to do, because I can do videos on ham radio. I can do videos on me taking something apart. I can do videos of me setting up anything. This is the other thing that that I didn't show, but I have to unplug it to show it. This is the Elgato Stream Deck, and each of these buttons can do multiple things. It can toggle on and off. but they all have individual LCD screens. So if I want to go to my YouTube channel or Streamlabs, my camera, I can put my face on the on the button and push it. It's got a little cradle that lets it sit like that. So I want to implement lighting, so I don't have to say, Alexa, turn off family room lights.
Okay.
Actually, that doesn't look so bad either. We'll leave that like that. I don't know. There's something flickering. The TV. The Jeffersons are on. Am I allowed to say the Jeffersons? Yeah, just can't put it on. So that's it for hardware that I've been, and I also want to break down the computer and the software that I'm running. And I'm probably going to pay for the subscription service so that I can put this on Facebook also. The more I can, the more viewers I can get, the more I can pull in toward this. Fix PCs, find a mistake on a working PC. All right, Catherine, I can't see. Got to type bigger. Fix PCs, find a mistake. So yeah, I mean the plan is ultimately is I not only want to do that, but there are days that I'll sit where I'm actually patching in Ethernet patch panels, and some people seem like they're into that. So I'll try some of that. If I can figure out my niche, I'll start another channel that's just for the extra stuff in life that I don't get to do. I like aviation. I almost had my pilot's license. There's so many things that I like to do that I would also like to put on YouTube. Alexa, turn on family room lights. That.
Okay.
Whoa. Yeah, maybe I need to figure out the. Alexa, set family room lights to warm white.
Okay.
I don't know. My face looks washed out now that I realize. So we're going to work on that. That's the project for this weekend. Clean the table off. I'm going to do some recycling tomorrow probably. So tomorrow will be another short video like this. However, we're now at almost 38 minutes. So I'm going to let it go for another minute. Try to get it close to 40. And then I'm going to jump off and do some stuff to pay the bills that I've been doing now late at night because I've been doing YouTube. It's all good. I believe my persistence will pay off, and if YouTube's going to become something worth doing on a daily basis, I'm going to continue. I would rather stay at home and do this than actually work on computers that you get called back 5 days later that you did something wrong, and here it's an operator error. So I went all over the place tonight, but it's good. Catherine's pretty much the only one that talked. I need more people to interact. I think it's going to be a while before I hit 1,000 subscribers, or I would offer to like do an ice bucket challenge here in Jersey when it's like 19 degrees outside. Probably will kill me, but I need subscribers. So click on it, like it, watch the video. Leave a comment, good or bad. Just be polite, be courteous. One of the things I do agree with a lot of YouTubers is this is a channel of a family, a group, and there's no need for people to say bad, negative things. You know, if you disagree with the way I do something, bring it up by all means. We all learn on a daily basis. If we're not learning, we're probably dead. And I feel that hopefully be alive until I'm in my 90s, and I'll still be learning with hearing aids. So that's pretty much it. But I'm going to leave it on a high note with 9 viewers. And I do have to say I'm excited in the morning when I wake up, thinking about what I want to do the next day or that day for a video. But I'm going to try to start scheduling them more than an hour before, so that maybe maybe my goal for next week is maybe have 20 or 30 live viewers. That would be really nice. But those are some of my goals. If any of you that are on here can please help with that, I'd be greatly appreciated. Share the link. If you know somebody who's into computers, have them subscribe. Come along for the ride. Give it a couple months. See what happens. As I get better, the content will definitely get better. With that in mind, everyone have a wonderful evening, and